and welcome back to the Living Room Critics Podcast. And first and foremost, thank you to everyone and anyone who has commented, followed on all the social medias.
Subscribed.
Except for Spotify. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, especially on YouTube. Like, YouTube, hello.
Like you said, TikTok was picking up too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What we said about Mr. Penn.
Yeah. You gotta love the engagement on TikTok. That's yeah, I'm not looking for bad controversy. We're not looking to be the chaperones of the podcast world or anything. But yeah, no, there's someone had basically came at us and said, "Hey, if you're gonna call yourself critics, you need to watch everything." And in that, okay, all right, yeah, I did not watch one battle after another, and I don't like war movies. And someone said, "Oh, it's not a war movie." Sean Penn is wearing an army suit. It's a war movie.
Isn't he a general in that movie or something?
General,
or a major something.
Anyway,
battle,
not for me. As I love a good, fantasy and battles and books. Hello, Fourth Wing. But with that all said and done, honestly, thank you to everyone who has loved on the social medias, who've sat and actually watched the whole 30 minutes. We appreciate you giving us 30 minutes of your time. So here is another 30 minutes of your time. So,
and we appreciate the constructive criticisms also. So yeah. We've made notes.
Yes. Also, for anyone who's going to come at us about our set will grow with us. This is what we have. Okay? If you know someone with a better living room, or you have a better living room and you want to run it out to us like once a week, every other week, something, once a month, hey, we'll talk. Hey, if there's any freaking studios out there, Dear Media, hi, hello, baby podcast here. There's so much potential here, guys. I love. Sorry, I digress sometimes. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
I thought we were going to talk about love story about JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
Oh, yes, we are. And I have my notes.
Yes.
Okay, so before we really get into the heart of this episode, because the heart of the episode will basically, for anyone who I had a few people say, "Oh my God, you and your mom are so cute." Yes, this is where you'll see the core of our relationship. Is I use my mother as Google. Basically. My mother is my original Google. Millennials, right? So, before we get into what I have here, is I'll ask her questions and she'll just tell me what she remembers in real time, or like if she knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who has like a fax, we'll share it. All of that. So, okay, if you don't know what we're talking about and you've lived under a rock, love story, JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bassette, Ryan Murphy on FX is taking a lot of liberties. We're not team, "Oh my God, Ryan Murphy's the best." No, we're here to watch the shit show.
You are.
Oh,
I won't watch it.
You'll watch the others, like you'll watch American Horror, but when it comes
until it gets too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beauty only got into maybe 3 episodes and I couldn't watch anymore.
Yeah. I have a little bit more patience for Ryan Murphy than my mom does.
He's too graphic now. It's just really super graphic.
Yeah, going into the graphicness and the shockiness of it, there has been a few moments in the show of how he's filmed it and how he's set up certain scenes where I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, Ryan? Example A. First episode, opening scene. What do we see? We see JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bassette kind of in a fight, kind of bickering and all of that, and they are loading a plane. And if you know anything about this couple, you know how they passed away. You know how they, and how is that, Mom? You could just say real short. How did they pass away?
They were flying to his cousin's wedding on Hyannisport, and John had broken his leg, and he really shouldn't have flown that night, but he still did. And because of it, he got disoriented while he was up in the sky, and they crashed. And all three of them, John, Carolyn, and Carolyn's sister Lauren, all passed away. They found them about a month after the crash in the ocean.
I don't remember that part. Okay.
I do, because it took a long time, and then they did a burial at sea for the three of them.
Also,
his uncle Ted was on the boat, along with Carolyn and her husband and their kids, and I think Maria Shriver was there too.
Yeah.
Because she was a cousin, but it was sad. It was really sad. I didn't like when that happened.
Also, keep in mind, Mom had a huge crush on JFK Jr. But also, you gotta think about Mom's generation also watched him grow up. So, yeah.
Yeah, him and I were both born in 1960.
Oh.
I was in January, and I'm almost positive John was November.
Okay. Oh, I hope you don't hear my stomach growling on
Right.
this.
John was November 1960, and I was January 1960. So.
And they passed away
in July 1999.
Yeah, so the opening scene is you seeing them get into the plane, and it took me a second, and I went, oh my God. And there's like another moment, which is, I don't know what episodes it is, but it's the episode where they're getting married, okay? And according to the show, the way Ryan did it, apparently before they got married, the two of them snuck off to like the beach and like skinny dipped, and they were like in the ocean, right? And I'm sitting there going, this is so morbid and sick. This is not romantic. Like, if you know, and the foreshadowing, and I know the foreshadowing, I know Hollywood magic, I know the storytelling and all the things, but it's just so sick and twisted, and oh my God. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Well, like, JFK Jr.'s nephew, Jack Slausenberg, Caroline's son, said that Ryan Murphy, when he made this series, it's a lot of fiction.
Yeah. So you really do have to take it with a grain of salt. Hence why.
And do your research and look it up.
Yes. So the beginning of all my research always starts with my mother. So, and you all are here to watch that. But no, like, but like this, like, we're just going to get into it. Okay, we're just going to get into it. Mind you, as we're taping this Tuesday, 2 days before the season finale airs. So, we still have one more episode, okay? But we kind of know how it ends. So, right? Like, we just told you how it ends if you're not in it. So, this is everything that I have wrote. I only have a page and a half of quick little notes that I have scribbled down as I've watched it and all of that. So, first thing I wrote is, did John's sister really hate Carolyn?
I never read anything to that.
Okay. Because in the show, there's what I see.
See, again, like what Jack said, a lot of this is fiction. I mean, Caroline and John were very close.
Which is, and Jack's mom is the sister.
Is
here.
Caroline, yeah.
So I just saw it as like, hello, my last name is fucking Kennedy. That is something. That's my brother, who is this little blonde. I'm sure she didn't use the word skank, but you know what I mean. You know, like
I'm sure she wondered, but I think she probably treated her with the same respect she would expect in return. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. But also there is a moment in the show where it's around the time of the engagement. I think it's the engagement party, and the party, I believe, is at Caroline's house. And Carolyn gets attached to the kids, or the kids get attached to her, and she somehow takes one of the girls down to the doorman because she wanted to see the doorman. But hello, the paparazzi saw Carolyn in the window and was all over the place. And sister was like, where's my daughter? Why is she downstairs with her? And basically
I think that was made up.
Yeah, no, he was just, yeah, it did. Another thing was Carolyn really this fashionista, hair flipping girl?
She worked for Calvin Klein. She had a lot of style, and everybody always commented on how beautiful she was. I mean, the blonde hair, the blue eyes. I mean, she's, thin. I don't know if it's because she worked for Calvin Klein that she got labeled a fashionista. I can't talk.
Yeah. Fashion. Okay.
Fashionista.
My take in all of this, and from what I've kind of picked up, is apparently Miss Caroline, guess what zodiac sign she is?
Didn't you say it was a Capricorn?
Yes, like us.
But what was her date?
I can't remember. Anyway. Okay. Well, looking at, we like millennial. We like simple outfits and all of that, but also something about Caroline that people.
Day before grandma.
Oh my God, she's sandwiched between grandma and I. I'm January 6th. Carolyn Bessette is January 7th. Oh my God. Hartford is born. Stassi Schroeder's daughter is born January 7th. Oh, she shares the same birthday as Carolyn. Oh my God. And then my grandma, the famous star Wirth. And for those who don't know, I'm sorry you missed her. I don't mean that. I mean that sassy, but I mean that with a lot of love. She was the 8th. Okay, but I want to say this to anyone who's watching this and who thinks that Miss CBK is the queen of fashion. I just think she's an example of who she worked for.
Well, and she probably got a lot of those clothes for nothing.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't like she came from a wealthy family. I mean, I think they were wealthy, but not wealthy like John's family. Because he said that when she was in college, they struggled to get by. I mean, to go to college and they would do,
And obviously before John, she worked. And if you know anything about a Capricorn, we love to stay busy, okay? And with that said, there's a moment at the end. If you saw the last episode, I have a lot of thoughts about the last episode, okay? Wait. In regards to the Capricorn. But and also, not only is she an example of who she worked for, she was also the example of the times of where she worked and where she lived.
Yeah, she was in New York City.
New York was like the Calvin Klein aesthetic.
Sidewalks. I bet you in New York, the sidewalks are like runways for everybody.
Yeah.
Because you can pretty much wear anything in New York and nobody's going to give you crap. Not like here.
Yeah, plus also there's so many people on the street that I don't even think people are really looking at you. Okay, alright, so we talked about the clothes, we talked about the fashion,
go out
all
in a
of
hat
that.
and all of a sudden people stare at you.
Okay, now, here is the part that really started to scratch my brain going, there's no way. Okay, Ethel Kennedy. If you've seen the show, apparently, when you go to Ethel Kennedy's house, you go, like, there's, like, that big dinner where she goes and questions you about politics and all of the things and your views on the politics and all of the things. And then you got to sign up for dinner or breakfast and all of this, and that John didn't tell her about signing up and this, and made her look bad the first time she went to Ethel's house and yada, yada, yada. And just made Ethel look very...
Yeah, but Ethel did something to John. John had taken Carolyn to Rose Kennedy's house, to the compound, and they were supposed to get a certain room. And because they weren't married, Ethel made sure, because she was staying at the house and she decided to stay overnight, she wouldn't let the two of them stay in the same room. And she just, she was really cheap.
But it was because they weren't married yet, right? Like there was.
Yeah, but the thing is Ethel wasn't supposed to be there when John was there, and he was taking Carolyn to like hang out for the weekend. And Ethel wasn't supposed to be there at all, and Ethel decided staying there and kind of like messed up the weekend. Well, his assistant talks about it in her book.
Okay. Next thing is the infamous park fight. In the show, okay, so there are apparently if you're watching this on YouTube, as we're talking about this, you're going to see all of the visuals of it, okay? Apparently, there is a moment where they're at Central Park and they're talking and they get physical with each other, and paparazzi are there taking pictures.
That's true, that did happen once.
Okay. On the show, apparently it surrounded the engagement. In the show, okay? After that fight, they also go on a 2-3 hour, 4, I don't know how long this walk is, and it's like they're literally like in all these random alleys talking about how their relationship is going to work, this and that, and yada yada yada. And then it even gets to the point where I think they even go into like the Hampton, and they're still having this conversation. But yeah.
But you have to remember, John grew up with a camera in his face. Okay? Caroline did not.
Oh, no,
and John did everything in his power to ask the press and the media to back off, and they didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
They did the same thing to Princess Diana.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
it's
okay.
like when you're asked, please back off, and they don't. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I think here in America, in the USA, we need to have better paparazzi laws. Why are there laws in Europe but not laws here? Hello, in Europe, one of the laws is you cannot take pictures of celebrities' children. Like, hello, why do you think Natalie Portman moved to Paris? And everywhere she went, she was holding her baby. You can't photograph me. I've got my baby. It's like, but here, like, oh my God. Like, they just now stopped having it be where the paparazzi are allowed to show up at the kids' schools. Just in the last few years. Thank you to the Kardashians and the Calabasas mom groups. But yeah. Okay. Also, on the show, we see the making of George Magazine. And what exactly is George Magazine?
George Magazine was the magazine that John created. It was a political magazine. He had different celebrities of the covers. And I loved that magazine. It was a great magazine. It had great articles about all different kinds of people. And you learned a lot.
Okay, I have a question. Did you have a subscription to it?
Yes. I got it when it first started.
Why don't I remember this in the house? Like, I remember People magazine in the house. You didn't have it in the bathroom.
No, because I would read it and put it away. I still have them. Yeah, they're in one of the boxes in the closet. I still have them. And there was one one copy of the magazine where they went and recreated different political people. Like Barbara Streisand was Betsy Ross. Cheech Marin was Che Guevara. And because when I worked in the business, I worked for a payroll company. Nash Bridges is one of my clients, the TV show. And Cheech was on that show. And so when I got that copy, I sent the copy to the production office, and it's signed by Cheech. I have it.
Do you have the True Barrymore cover?
Sarah, I didn't throw those out. I saved them. I didn't throw them out.
Gold mine. I will be doing a video. We are going to be searching for those. I'd be doing a video. I'm going to be touching those. Oh my God. We're going to look inside.
Sarah,
oh my God.
Dead, you're going to find stuff going, oh crap.
I can't wait, but I'm not willing for it to happen today or tomorrow, please. Angels. Knock on wood. Okay. Oh my God, I was not expecting that out of my mother, that she had Georgia magazine in the closet.
Yes, because when it came out, I bought the first copy.
But yeah, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked though, because like I said, she followed JFK Jr. since she was a kid. Okay.
And two, you have to remember when George came out.
I don't remember George coming out.
There was no social media. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram. There was no nothing. So yeah, I'm sure that I found out that he was coming out with the magazine in People magazine. So that I knew it was coming out. So then I started looking for it.
And now your daughter's going to be looking for it in your closet. All right. Okay. Next thing I wrote down is Calvin Klein really that much of a dick? Because in the show, it looked like Carolyn Bassette was his golden egg, his little prized possession. Apparently, she worked in sales, and apparently she tripled the sales while she was there, and that was his little baby.
I think Mr. Murray took liberties there.
Also, here's another thing that I am curious about. Was there ever talks that Calvin Klein was going to design her wedding dress?
No, because when they got married, Sarah, when they got married, there was no social media. But when the day they got married, we were in the car with Uncle Tosh driving to dinner. And you and I were in the back, and it came over the radio that he had gotten married to Carolyn. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks. And Uncle Tosh goes, oh, like if you had a chance. And I'm like, wow.
Thanks for the confidence, man.
But the whole thing is when they got married, they sent out invitations, but nobody knew it was for their wedding until they got to the island. And it was a very small church. There was I think there was candles inside that church. Yeah.
Also,
but the dress that she wore was made, I think, Narcisco. She was friends with him, and I think
it was really pretty. I know, but
he worked for Calvin before he went and started his own line of clothes under his name. Okay, but back then, he made it was a really nice, simple dress. It was perfect.
Yeah. Also, if you're looking for anything to like watch about JFK, like I did, because Roman empires are real, go to Tubi. There is a documentary of the wedding day. And, like, there's apparently someone, like, John's best friend. John had gone, I need you to videotape. Like, we want videotape, but we don't, like, private. And it's literally all of his videos and the people that showed up and them
They allowed people to be there because it was a people cover story.
Okay.
So people was there, and then his friend recorded all that other stuff.
Okay, so go to Tubi, put in JFK Jr. It will come up. It's a great hours and something minutes. And also I saw that before I saw the wedding episode of On Love Story, and yeah, you very much can tell that Ryan Murphy watched that documentary too. Just saying. Okay. All right. Next thing. Here we got there. Okay. Because all roads lead to Bravo. The Caroline Roswell of it all.
Carol
Roswell. I wrote the name wrong. But you know who I'm talking about.
She was married to JFK Jr.'s cousin, whose mom was Jacqueline Onassis, her sister Lee.
Also, if you're like, who is that on the show?
Anthony Roswell, he passed away.
Anthony's the one that had cancer that John was close to. But what I'm kind of pissed off about, Ryan, where's Carol in the show? Huh?
Yeah, because I'm almost positive they were married then. Maybe she didn't allow it.
Well, she has very strong opinions. And
I know, but maybe she didn't allow them to use her. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. We've talked about the Paps. I don't know why I wrote that one, so we're not even going to write that. Okay. We're talking about the last episode now. Okay, John's broke his leg and all of the things. All right, just kind of let you know where it is. It's literally right before the incident. Apparently, a year after they got married, Carolyn didn't want to leave the house. She's gotten very depressed. She's like a junk food queen. Okay.
Yeah.
And she, okay. Thank you. I don't think that happened. I think it happened to a point, I think.
Maybe for a little bit, but then she's a Capricorn, for Christ's sakes.
Thank you, Ryan. Do your fucking research on Capricorns.
No,
I had issues with it going, okay, all right, I'm sure from going...
Do you see now why I didn't watch?
Don't attack the daughter on the pot. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not. I'm just saying, do you see now why I didn't watch?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Watching it, I was like, okay, I'm sure the transition from no Paps to Paps 24/7 there was a transition to it. There was a shift to it. But I was curious because there was a moment where in the show, Caroline's they get into a fight about how he's always at these events. He's always at some kind of Kennedy Foundation something. He's at some George something. He's in the office doing this and that. You literally see them grow apart, and it was they basically had John blame her for her depression and all of that. Not I shouldn't say blame John, but John was because you're depressed, I'm at the office all the time. He's they're pulling that man move, and I'm I
don't know what to say. I wasn't there. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't there. I wasn't a close friend with John, and I'm not gonna.
But can we? I agree. What can we say? We weren't there. Hello, a little of us. But
it's
us,
just disappointing that
but
Ryan
us,
would take liberties.
but us as Capricorns, we could get mad for Carolyn and her being represented like that as Capricorns, okay? Because it's like, yeah, we do get depressed. Yeah, we kind of have dark moments, okay? I'm like the queen of dark moments over here. But we get out of them. After a while, we get bored. Those dark moments and we get out. We find the light. So it's like, I can't wait for next season or the next episode, because it's like, okay, how are you going to end this? Also, the last thing that I want to bring up that I have here, two things is Princess Diana and John, were they close, or they just kind of knew each other in passing? Like,
I don't ever recall seeing a picture of the two of them together.
Okay, because in the show, they talk about the passing of Diana, and you literally see John,
well, when Diana passed, George Clooney and John both spoke up and spoke out about the paparazzi.
Yeah. So, okay, that makes sense.
But I mean, and I'm sure
And that goes with
George
my theory.
didn't know Princess Diana either. But I don't ever recall, and they might have met, but I never saw a picture of the two of them together.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, the only thing I could think of is the paparazzi chasing John, and that him, like, when Diana passed, it hit.
But the thing is when they were chasing John never ran. He just did what he was doing. When he was out and about, if he was on his bike, he didn't tear out and run away.
No.
I mean, he acted normal.
I love the average Joe of JFK. That's that. I
mean, he was a normal guy. He just was a normal guy.
A normal guy with a infamous last name.
Well,
and a legacy to pass on, or was hoping to pass on.
But he did pass it on. He passed it on to Jack and Tatiana and Rose.
Yeah.
He left everything to them. When he passed, everything was willed to those three.
Okay, that's cool. Also, my last thing is, do you think Jackie O would have liked Carolyn?
Okay, I'm judging on appearances. Okay?
Yeah.
If it was Daryl Hannah, no, I don't think Jackie would have liked her because she was an actress. And for that reason. And Daryl Hannah, you're a fabulous actress.
Hold on.
Down.
Another example of Ryan Murphy taking liberties is
yeah.
what he did to Daryl Hannah on
that
the
was
show.
jacked up.
I watched it and went, she can't be aloof like this. She can't be a fan of that. No. The only movie that I know well is Splash, because hello, mermaids for life over here, But no, she's not aloof. She's very much current. She's in her right mind. Oh my God.
Ryan Murphy took too many liberties in this TV series. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, going back to how you would think Jackie.
Now, and then Carolyn, because how she seemed like she came from a good family, she had good manners, she dressed
well.
She dressed very well. I'm sure she's a very smart girl. I'm sure her and Jacqueline probably would have gotten along. I mean, she was marrying her son.
As a boy mom, yeah. I know, it's yeah.
But I mean, I think she would have been, and no disrespect to Daryl at all, I just think she would have been happier with someone like Carolyn who didn't come from like the entertainment world. Carolyn came from the fashion world. It's a big difference.
Also, could the whole actress thing be because of Marilyn Monroe?
There's that possibility. I'm not going to
Have allegations or like.
Yeah, I mean, but come on. Anyway.
Yeah, no, and so that's gonna kind of end that, and also with all the liberties that he's taken in this, I can't wait to see the liberties he's taking in the one that I saw today. Apparently, the next love story he's going to talk about is one of Elizabeth Taylor's love stories.
Wait,
one of
all 7 husbands?
No, one of the husbands. I can't.
Richard Burton?
I am 99.9% sure that it is.
Well, that would be the most famous one she was married to.
Okay.
And they were married 2 times. 2 different times. He's the one that went and bought her like all her like major jewelry.
Oh.
Yeah, she's got like a big rock that he bought. Another one, like a big like I think it was a pear-shaped diamond necklace. Dude, there's an episode of I Love Lucy, but the newer Lucy's in color is, I think it was called like the Lucy Show.
Mm-hmm.
Richard and Elizabeth were on the show. Lucy gets the ring stuck on her hand and they can't get it off, and Liz and I think Richard had to do like a premiere line, so Lucy had to like put her hand like with the ring and pretend it was Elizabeth's.
I love that woman. Oh, that's right. I love that woman. Oh my God, do I love that woman. Okay. Yeah, so there's that. So can't wait to see how many liberties he takes with that love story. And if he talks about my home Lucille Ball in that moment. And if he gets that moment right.
I doubt he probably doesn't even know about it.
Okay, anyway, on that note, thank you for watching. Okay, this is gonna exclude I can't speak. This is ending episode 2. We got JFK out of the way. All right, if you're watching it, if you're watching this episode this week, you know that this season finale is on Tuesday. This is not an ad. On Friday. It's not an ad, okay? All right, and we might talk a little bit about it in not the next episode, but the episode after that, because spring break is coming up over here, and we got to double back some episodes today.
But thank you for watching. Please subscribe and tell your friends.
Also, and the episode we are about to record and jump into is books. So, if you're a smutty girl, come on in. If you are a biography girl, come on in. So, we don't read the same books. No. We are literally oranges and apples when it comes to books. So
yeah, she's fiction and I'm nonfiction.
No, I'm smutty at this point. In my middle age, I'm smutty. Yeah, so we'll get into it. So can't wait to see you there.